All right, guys, Doing Out Abyss special live stream will be releasing in 5 days, and I've been paying close attention, to what they've been posting on their Twitter page, and they've just been posting a lot of information. And I will say this over here, they posted like some sort of combat basics, talking about the fundamentals of Duet Night Abyss combat system. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at this here because it seems pretty interesting. So first things first, we have HP and shield. Your lifeline in battle attacks drain your white shield bar first. Once the shield is depleted, damage affects your HP. Shields regenerate after a period without taking damage. Strategic positioning against tough foes is key. Now, this is pretty interesting because whenever it comes to shields, it's always exclusive to like a character's kit. Like, oh, this character can provide shield. You want to pair up this character with this unit so that this unit can give that character more shield. But the fact that every unit has shields, like a white shield, that's actually very, very interesting. Next thing we have here is revive. Running out of HP doesn't mean defeat. You can revive and return to battle. Reviving grants brief invincibility. Revival chances are limited, so fight carefully. Very interesting. So I'm assuming, right, when it comes to them saying revival chances are limited, this is definitely for like dungeons, right? Whenever you're grinding for materials, whenever you're grinding for shards for characters, and let's say the boss is very difficult, you're gonna have like a one chance revive where you can revive one time and that's it. That's pretty cool. And grants brief invincibility. Like once you revive yourself, it's like you have an invincibility, like you're pretty much invincible for a certain period of time, and then after that, you're gonna start receiving damage. So that's pretty much the revive mechanic there. Next thing we have is sanity and skills. A vital combat resource. Casting skills consumes sanity. Sanity regenerates slowly over time or quickly by collecting sal volatile dropped in combat. Most skills have no cooldown, so you can cast repeatedly as long as you have enough sanity. So sanity is pretty much energy, right? It's pretty much energy. So the fact that you can actually collect this thing called Sal Volatile that's dropped in combat whenever you, like, let's say you defeat an enemy, you collect Sal Volatile, it's going to build up the amount of sanity you have, and you'll be able to, cast your skills back to back to back because, most skills have no cooldown. So I find that very interesting, the fact that some skills don't have cooldown. So you're just gonna sit there and just spam, which is hmm, pretty interesting. Cause like let's say you have healers, right? You have healers, and the thing is, I will say, like the whole like enemies dropping sal volatile, I think this is going to be really effective for like enemy trash mobs, right? Because they're, let's say enemy trash mobs, they have sal volatile, and then when you defeat them they drop it, and then you can collect it and just keep destroying these enemy trash mobs with your skills. But let's say against bosses, right? You're not going to be defeating bosses back to back because it's a one-time thing. So that's when things are going to start getting, a little complicated when you're fighting against bosses, because I'm assuming that they're not going to drop that much enemy trash mobs alongside bosses. That's what I'm assuming. So yeah, that would be broken. Like that would be absolutely broken if they're dropping back to back enemy trash mobs, and then let's say those enemy trash mobs, they drop a sal volatile, and then you pick it up and you just spam your skills. That's going to be too broken. So I'm assuming this is just effective for enemy trash mobs, so they can make farming a lot faster. That's what I'm guessing. But this is a pretty interesting mechanic here, and this is going to be very busted for healers. Like, let's say you're running a character who's a healer, and you guys are going in a dungeon, bro. You're just going to be spamming heals, man, and no one is going to die. So, pretty interesting mechanic. Now the next thing we have here is the dodge mechanic. So, use dodge to evade traps and powerful enemy attacks. Dodge has limited uses but can stack. Time it wisely to minimize damage taken. So you're not gonna have unlimited dodges. I was honestly, I was thinking like, when it comes to dodging in this game, it would just be like a stamina bar. It would be a stamina bar, and then when you try to dodge, it's gonna consume stamina. But it seems like you're just gonna have a set amount of dodges. Like let's say you have two dodges available, and then when you use one dodge, you have one more left. That's pretty much how they're doing it, which is, I ain't gonna lie, that's gonna make it a lot more challenging, bro. It's gonna make it a lot more challenging, especially against bosses. So very interesting there. Next thing we have here is sprint. Travel faster across the continent. Hold the movement key and long press dodge to enter sprint mode. Once activated, you can release dodge and maintain the sprint. Very simple. Nothing extreme there. Nothing complicated. Now, next thing we have here is Helix Leap. Perform long distance aerial movement with Helix Leap to reposition quickly. Master this technique to traverse terrain effortlessly during exploration or combat. Very good, man. Very nice. Next thing we have here is grapple and grapple points. Grapple points are scattered across Atlasia. I probably said that wrong. My apologies. Left by past adventurers. To travel swiftly between cities and wilderness, aim at a grapple point and press the interaction key. So they're pretty much just going over like, enhanced exploration and seeing how enhanced exploration isn't going to be locked behind characters. Very, very good, because there's like a lot of games out there, especially gacha games, where like, hey, if you want enhanced exploration, we're going to lock it behind this character, which is annoying. So the fact that you have grapple points, you have helix leap, very, very good. Now, last but not least, we have stance bar. Boss enemies have a stance bar. Each hit weakens their stance. Weakening the stance to a certain extent causes hit stun. Completely weakening the stance temporarily incapacitates the boss enemy. So we have like three circles here. So wait, it says each hit weakens their stance. Weakening the stance to a certain extent causes hit stun. So every single time you you deplete the stance bar for the enemy, they're gonna be stunned, right? Very, very interesting. Next thing we have here, ask retribution. Bosses being stunned enter a vulnerable state, creating an opportunity for heavy damage. Additionally, approach an incapacitated boss and press the interaction key to perform ask retribution, dealing massive damage. Wow. You know what this reminds me of? You guys know those games? Let's say Ghost of Tsushima, uh Batman Arkham Knight, you got Spider-Man. You guys know those games where whenever the enemy, like when you stunned him, they have like a stun bar, and then when you deplete that stun bar, and then the enemy's just, they're pretty much in a weakened state, and then you have like a finishing move, a finisher. That's what this reminds me of. Like you pretty much have a finisher move for these bosses, and you can deal insane damage. Pretty cool. Divide and destroy. Some bosses have destructible parts, each with independent HP. Destroying all parts also temporarily incapacitates the boss. Okay, so they're showing us different parts of this boss here. This is like, I don't know what this is. Probably like wings here. We have the arms, we got the legs. Very interesting. So this is actually pretty cool. Like, let's say, you're with your friends, you're fighting against this boss, and you tell your friends, hey, man, I'm going to take care of the left arm. And you guys take care of the right arm. And then I'm going to take care of the head. And that's actually pretty nice. So it's like I can definitely see how far this can go if the devs are willing to put in effort, right? I'm not going to sit here and assume that these devs are god tier and they're going to do everything right. But if they're willing to, like, take this far and expand upon this can be very, very good long term. And it can make the game a lot more fun long term, since they're gonna introduce, all these mechanics. The way you defeat these bosses, you have retribution, you have finishing moves, you got, enemy parts. Very, very cool here. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the combat, the basic combat when it comes to Duet Night Abyss. And I will say, the main things that caught my attention was the sanity part. Like this definitely caught my attention for sure. Sanity, the revive thing. I mean, revive, it's pretty simple. Let's see the comments over. Let's see what people are saying. What do you mean revival chances are limited? Do you want revives to be unlimited? Like unlimited revive? Like what's the point of having healers at this point? I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of a crazy question right there. Let's continue. Number 10 is coming in upcoming patches in Wuwa, and 1 to 9 are from Wuwa, but minor changes, okay. Hey, this person is talking about Woo here. I really appreciate your hard work, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we don't really care. But yeah, the Sanity system is very interesting, and it definitely exposes the fact that they're not trying to rely on cooldown too much as a way to like balance the game, right? Because when you take a look at these free-to-play games, they always rely on cooldown, the cooldown system, to balance things out. But it seems like they're trying to stray away from that, and they're relying on this energy system where, oh, if your character doesn't have enough sanity, well, they can't cast their skills, right? You have to build up a lot of sanity in order for you to cast your skills, and can also collect sal volatile dropped in combat, which is going to build up more sanity for your character. So I can definitely see, enemies dropping sal volatile when you defeat them. You pick it up and you cast your skills a lot more. Very, very cool mechanic. And I can definitely see, some characters in their kits, like you look at their skills, it will say something like, this skill was going to consume, like, let's say 25 sanity, right? 50 sanity or 60 sanity. I can definitely see something like that happening once this game drops. But yeah, I can't wait to explore that mechanic, see what it's all about. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you guys think this is good? Do you guys think this is bad? Share your thoughts. But hope you guys have a good one, and I'll be catch you guys on the next one. Adios.